What is up, guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you a mod that makes your fishing a whole lot better than it is right now. I'm also going to show you how to mine up some candy ore and then use it to create some candy tools. And then finally, we're going to check out an amazing new revamped Nether. So without further ado, let's do this. So like I said earlier, sometimes when you're out fishing, it can get a little boring and a bit mundane. To fix that, you're going to want to get the mod Water Strainer by Ruby Roni. This allows you to create some awesome traps to put in the water that'll catch items and fish for you. The first thing you're going to want to start off with is a strainer base. This is what you're going to need for anything that you make with any of these nets. And there's a couple different nets, and I'll explain what they are later. But the first thing is you need to make the strainer base with some wood, copper, chest, and some iron bars. Once you have your strainer base, you go ahead and throw it into the water, just like this. You're going to want to make sure that it is at least 2 deep, so that this part is just barely showing over the water, because it will not work if you have it above the water, if you had it over here per se. If you had that, because then the net that goes up here is not in the water and is not going to catch anything for you. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and make the net. There are 4 different types of nets. Some are used to get different items, and then one is used for catching fish, like this one, the fisherman's strainer. So if you just want to go ahead and catch fish, make your life a little bit easier so you didn't have to keep on fishing with your regular fishing rod all the time, you'd be able to make this with some sugarcane and a net. And a net is just created with some string there. Now the cool thing about the fisherman's strainer is that it does not break. As you can see, the label's really clearly there. It does not break. It catches fish, junk, and treasures, and it requires bait. That's the downside of this net. The other ones don't require bait, but they break after so many uses. The bait you're going to need are worms. Worms you can put into a bait pot, which you can make by putting iron bars with a flower pot to make the bait pot, and then getting worms to put into your bait pot to make it full so you can put it into your fisherman's strainer. Now how you get the worms is you need to create this garden trowel, which you can just dig up dirt just like a regular shovel. And you see now I'm starting to pop out some worms. Now, as I mentioned, there's a couple other different types of strainers here. You have the survivalist strainer, the survivalist strainer tight, and the survivalist strainer wide. These are all a little different, and they have a certain amount of uses before they break, and you'd have to make another one. But as you see, if I shift, it'll tell you different types of items these strainers are going to pick up. So they get a little better, as you can see as I go up. Sometimes, I guess not so much with this, it just adds in a lot more use before it breaks. But each one has their own different kind of items that they're going to pick up. Like this one actually will pick up gold nuggets every now and then. And this one will pick up a bunch of stuff, maybe some stuff you don't want. So you get to kind of pick and choose which strainer is going to fit your needs when you use this mod. The last thing I'm going to go ahead and cover over this mod is the efficiency meter. This is something you could go ahead and right click on any of your strainer bases to see how efficient they're running. And as you can see, all of mine are running very well, except for that one because it doesn't have a strainer on it. And this one is actually the fisher one. So if I clicked on it, you can see all these different things that my fisherman strainer has been picking up over time. I don't think, yes, this one also has been picking stuff up over time as well. Next up, guys, we have this mod called Kraft by Epic ENT Gaming. It is unique to say the least. It has a bunch of different candied ores. These 3 that I could find right off the bat. The author says that there are different and better tiers that you can find. These tiers make 3 different sets of tools and 3 different types of seeds that you can plant so you can get more candied ore. So even though I wasn't able to find the other tiers of this candied ore, I was sure able to find a bunch of this light blue candy ore, which will drive you nuts when you're trying to search for diamond ore, because you are going to mistake it for that diamond ore every time. One of the features of the mod that I thought really stood out was the fact that you can actually plant seeds from the ores. And all you need to do is go ahead and go make one of these little blue candies or light blue candy, whatever you're trying to make. You go ahead and put it into a regular crafting bench and you'll be able to get the seeds out of it. Although you're able to do, what are you doing? Get out of here. Anyways, if you wanted to go ahead and do this, you shouldn't be expecting too much of a return out of this, because there's a low chance of getting a lot of ore this way. The ore is actually just like any other ore. You'd go ahead and go and put it in your furnace, and you'd be able to smelt it down to get these little candies. And then once you have the candies, you'd be able to go ahead and use them with sticks just to make your tools like you would any other kind of ore in the game. Believe it or not, I actually like these blocks the most out of this mod because they're so colorful and you can make some pretty cool things out of them. I mean, imagine an entire village made from these blocks. That would be insane. It'd probably hurt my eyes a lot. I'm really looking forward to the updates that the author said that they're going to have to put through, because they said they're going to actually add in a lot more tiers, a lot more ores, and maybe even some biomes, some candy biomes. Now that would be pretty neat to see. So until then, we'll have to stick around with what we got in this mod so far. Alright guys, it's time to face this new Nether. To get this new Nether, you're going to want to go ahead and download the mod Nether EX by Logitech Corp. It adds in 4 new biomes, one of them being this mushroom type biome that adds in a creeper, a spore creeper, which is really dangerous because if you hit by one of these guys, they don't allow you to regenerate, and the disease can spread to other creepers even in the overworld. You also get these kind of frost biomes, and they produce a new type of flame with frostburn ice. These types of flames you can actually make if you get this Ryman steel. You'll be able to get this, click it down on somewhere, and it creates a new flame. But be aware, using this in the overworld is very hazardous because this type of flame spreads a lot faster than the regular flame. The mod also comes with some new mobs that are in there, and this one being the creepiest I've seen. It is awesome looking though. It is a bone spider. This is something I would like to have as a pet. I want to tame this and take it around with me to scare every mob away. That would be awesome. You're also going to find some new structures in the game, mostly in this type of biome, where you have these little, I call them like the little spinny guys. I don't know their exact name. They're very dangerous though. What are they? The spin-outs? I gotta say, if there's one thing this mod author did amazing, I mean, besides everything else in this mod, is he actually made some pretty unique mobs. We also get a couple new armors in this mod, one of them being the bone armor. So if I were to go ahead and go into survival mode right now, you'll see I'm in survival and the skeletons are passive to me. That is only going to work if you have a full set of bone armor. They will not attack you. This bone armor will also work with skeletons in the overworld at night. The other armor you can get is called salamander armor, which you'd get from these salamander guys that are only in the Nether. Once you kill enough of them, you'd be able to make your salamander armor, which makes you invincible when it comes to jumping in lava or anything kind of fire. So if you're bored of the original Nether and want something a little different every time you go, then you're going to want to get this mod, because this mod is going to surprise you every time you go into the Nether and make portals in different areas. It has a bunch more added to it. It is not boring anymore. You'll be entertained with a bunch of different things that this mod author has put in here, and a lot of stuff that I don't even think he put down in his description that I've been able to find. Alright guys, those are all the mods I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you go and check them out, and if you do, please leave a comment down below to let me know what you think of them. And as always, subscribe to my channel to get content like this every weekend. Thanks again guys. Peace!